Everyone, it's Courtney from the Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center, and today we're answering the most popular question from last week's wolf vlog. And the question was, do wolves mourn when they lose someone in their pack? And yes, they definitely do. So the wolf pack structure is the most common, there you go, Coda, the most common to the human pack structure. And of course, when we lose our mate, our siblings, or any of our loved ones, we go through a depression and a mourning period. That's exactly what you're going to see in wolves. So here is Coda. We've met Coda a couple weeks ago in our last wolf vlog about the War on Wolves Act. Now what you see in Coda is that she is actually mourning a loss. So Coda not only lost one wolf last year, she lost two. So her original mate was Wakanda. Unfortunately, Wakanda left us in June of last year, 2016. So we put her in this enclosure with his brother Shunka. And as a lot of you remember, Shunka did pass away in September of 2016. So she did have to endure two losses of males that she absolutely loved. So she is still a little bit depressed, a little bit mourning. We're seeing her get out of that a little bit. Now what we see with Coda is that she ducks her head. She tucks her tail between her legs. If you can see, it's a little tucked right now. It's okay, Coda. This is showing signs of her still mourning that loss, so she's still extremely lonely. It's okay. So usually a wolf in the wild, their mourning period will go 3 weeks, 6 weeks. It really depends on that wolf and the pack structure and how they're doing during that season. Now, Coda here, of course, we don't just introduce two new wolves randomly. We have to think it out. We're thinking of getting her a mate very soon, but she's gone almost 6 months or more without a mate, so you're seeing her mourning and her depression go a little bit longer. So what you see is staff members, like I'm doing today, we come in, we talk to Coda, we give her treats, just so that she's not as lonely. So we thought we'd kind of show you, like I said, just her body structure. So wolves do have different body languages, and when they're going... You can't really tell right now, but she's very excited that we're here. Okay, hold on. But what you see in them is their facial expressions change, the way they hold their ears and their tail, and the way they actually hold their body. It's going to be lower. Their ears might be back, and they're going to have their tails tucked. Their howls will actually change as well. So we had another wolf whose name is Kiara, who's in with Micah. She actually, before she was with Micah, had a high-content wolf dog in her enclosure with her, who passed away at the age of almost 16 years old. His name was Sabin. Now, she actually changed her howl, and you're going to also see this in the wild. So wolves will individually howl when they're mourning and depressed. They won't howl as a pack. So usually, of course, very, very social animals. Their pack structures are very, very deep ties with each other. There you go, Coda. And so instead of howling together, what they're actually going to do is howl individually, and they're going to mourn their loss separately. That's exactly what Kiara did, but she was alone. Again, they don't have pack structures in here. We only have the alpha and his or her mate in here. So what happened is she changed her howl, and it went lower and longer. And all the other wolves here actually did not howl back. And that was their way of saying, we respect your time of loss. So even though each enclosure we have at the Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center is a separate pack, what you actually see is at that point, they actually all acted like a pack. Now in here, when Shunka passed away, every single wolf here actually howled goodbye to him, and they did feel that loss. Shunka was one of the originals. He had been here the longest, and so all of them did have a tie to Shunka. In the wild, there are some instances where a wolf will die. Say one of the wolves in a documentary called Living with Wolves, she actually was the Omega wolf. She got killed by a cougar, and they actually avoided that area where she got killed. And when they did come across it, they'd pin their ears back, tuck their tails, and cower because they were showing a sign of their depression. They realized what had happened there. You also had a wolf pack in Canada when they lost one of their females. When they lost one of their females, they actually did a circle 8 as if they were looking for her. So there was a time of loss. And like I said, it depends on the wolf, what that season is, how they're doing in the wild, if they have pups. Everything kind of plays a role in how these wolves are mourning. But yes, they definitely will mourn. So we hope that answered your questions. Thank you so much for everyone that liked those and participated. We'll do this, like I said, once a month. So there's your February viewer's choice. We'll do another one in March. But again, this is Coda and Courtney from the Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center. You want to say bye, Coda? And we'll see you next week.